As the world becomes more technological and media oriented, the question must be asked, how prominent is social media in society today? Furthermore, what are the negative and positive consequences? As a part of the Gen Z generation, social media is more prominent in my generation than any generation prior. Technology and social media are a daily occurrence in my life and the lives of my friends and community. As it may be shameful to admit, social media is one of the first things I check when waking up in the morning and one of the last things I check before going to bed. This statement in itself magnifies the prominence of technology in my life, which I believe could be said about many other Australian teenagers. Personally, I believe social media has an overwhelming prominence in our society and is providing more harm than good. Accordingly, I believe this will lead to unrepairable repercussions and habits adopted by present and future generations that will ultimately lead to the downfall of society. To elaborate, I believe the ever-growing social media interaction is diminishing our ability to have real-life social interactions. Furthermore, our ability to now share every single detail of our lives on the internet effectively steals our right to privacy and our points of conversation to have meaningful interactions with people face-to-face. Or perhaps our posts about our lives are the only source of material you can use to hold a conversation with another party. This idea is explored effectively in Netflix's production of Black Mirror, which explores the story of an idealistic society where social class is dictated by five-star ratings via social media. During the film, the idea of diminishing social skills is displayed in Lacey's instinct to talk about posts made by a co-worker's social media page. The director effectively uses a medium shot to display the character's body language and facial expressions. This technique exposes us to the obvious uncomfortable situation Lacey is subjected to as she scrambles to find points of conversation to maintain her rating. Additionally, the director makes effective use of non-diegetic music to create an almost eerie prison-like environment in the elevator. Accordingly, these ideas are translating into our everyday culture, where you and the people you surround yourself with struggle to style and maintain a conversation that doesn't begin or revolve around someone's social media post. I personally can testify to this, where the majority of the conversations my friends and I conduct are mediated by someone's Instagram post or Snapchat story, rather than something that matters to us now in the environment we are presently in. Ultimately, the excessive time and energy we spend on social media is creating large gaps in our ability to confidently have conversations with one another that do not revolve around publishments on media platforms. Secondly, social media's prominence in society is beginning to create false expectations and statutes within our communities. The constant publishment of edited and exaggerated posts has begun to create false expectations upon us to meet social normalities. Personally, I can testify to this as I have progressed through my adolescence. I recognize myself and my peers try harder and harder to meet social norms produced by idealized media posts. These ideas are presented in Sean Higton's production of What's on Your Mind, which explores the story of a man's struggle to meet the social standards set by media platforms. The story displays him exaggerating and falsifying occurrences for the sole purpose of publishing them to his Facebook page to meet a social agenda. Evidence of this is seen here. Higton's use of a close-up shot is effective in highlighting Scott, the protagonist's facial expression. His expression attempts to mislead his following into believing he's an active, productive member of society, rather than his true objective to create a following and appear virtuous to his peers. Furthermore, actions like this have a severe consequence and promote false indoctrinations that have been scientifically proven to lead to mental disorders such as anxiety and depression, as discussed in Dr. Cal Newport's seminar, Quit Social Media. Therefore, how prominent is social media in our society? Personally, reflecting on the points just discussed, I believe the fact that social media is contorting the way we conduct ourselves in real life to impress people online through a screen is a substantial evidence to prove social media has an overwhelming prominence in our society. Accordingly, I believe action must be taken to educate future generations to prevent social normality such as this. To conclude, I believe social media has an extreme prominence in our society. I believe its prominence in society is overwhelming and for the most part has negative effects on us as recipients, as seen in the ability to ruin our skills of communication and the ability to lead us into depression and addiction. Accordingly, as one of its recipients, I must strive to not let it assume as much control in my life as it does others and assist my peers in doing the same.